Red Hulk, Jean Grey, a new big head mode, a new Hela skin with a pretty awesome MVP, and a lot more to talk about in today's Marvel Rivals news. Let's first start with this new game mode. It's called Giant Size Brain Blast, and it's dropping April 25th. Pretty soon. This is just a fun game mode. There's not really anything too crazy about it, although there are some pretty awesome rewards to get. As you can see, everyone in this game mode has a giant head, and yes, that does seem to affect the head hitbox, and it even makes a very fun noise when you get a headshot. Now, the fun thing about this game mode is, when you play it, you'll be competing on a leaderboard alongside everyone else in the game, and if you perform well with each hero, you will get a title for that hero if you rank on the leaderboard. For example, if you get top 10, you'll get this title here. And I think there are different leaderboards for each individual hero. So if you play a bunch, you could get a very special title to put on your name that's probably never coming back, and very few people are going to get it. This will end up being rarer than like a celestial reward at the end of the day, which is pretty crazy. Not only that, if you play enough of this game mode, you'll get to choose one emote from the free emote store. You can basically do a big brain emote, and yes, you can only choose one, so choose wisely. Like I say, this is coming April 25th, and it's just a fun little game mode. Nothing too crazy, no balance changes yet as far as I'm aware, but it's pretty cool. Now, let's talk about Red Hulk. There's been a bit of information going online, some correct, some wrong, and I want to just clarify what's going on. So, the Marvel Rivals devs recently released two videos. One was sort of like an art blast, and another one looking at the creation of the music behind Marvel Rivals. In one of those videos, there was a concept art of Red Hulk, and that got everybody very, very excited for good reason. I mean, Hulk's an awesome character, but having Red Hulk as well is going to be something a lot of fans of Hulk may get excited for. Trouble is, they've already tried this in development, and they said that when you have two characters that are very similar, like Hulk and Red Hulk, you have readability problems, and the devs ended up not really wanting to go down that route. So whilst there was concept art of Red Hulk in this dev video, that doesn't mean we're going to get Red Hulk, at least not as a playable character. The readability issues would certainly be there, but, you know, maybe we could get a Red Hulk skin. We've already got a Joe Fixit skin for Hulk in the current season, so it's not out of the question that we could maybe get a Red Hulk skin or a Miles Morales skin for Spider-Man in the future. I think that would be a better way to go about it, considering their sort of ability sets would be different, but their overall silhouettes and readability would be so similar it would just confuse new players. Next, let's talk about Jean Grey and Elixir. There's two names in one of the events going on right now in Marvel Rivals, and they're very, very tinily written with tiny, tiny text. Turns out these are the names of Jean Grey, a hero, and Elixir, another hero. We know a lot of heroes are coming to Marvel Rivals, and we know that the Marvel Rivals devs like to tease ahead of time, and it's very likely we will get Jean Grey and probably Elixir very shortly. However, we still have Blade. Currently, he's just snoozing in one of the maps. I don't know if he's going to come to the game anytime soon, or if he's just our resident sleeper boy hanging around. I don't know what's going to happen with Blade, if he's going to come before Jean Grey or Elixir, but either way, we have some more names to talk about. They're probably putting these names in here as a teaser, right? So who is Jean Grey, who is Elixir, and what are their abilities, and what could they potentially play as in Marvel Rivals? Jean Grey is a very strong mutant. She has telekinesis, telepathy, and she's merged with the Phoenix Force, and this allows her abilities to be even stronger and allow her to manipulate energy. And I do believe that in most Marvel comics, this kind of showcases itself as a fire-based ability, sort of like a phoenix, right? So I think in Marvel Rivals, the most likely route for them to take is to give us some kind of fire-based Phoenix ultimate ability. That sounds like a damage-dealing thing to me, so I'm kind of leaning towards Jean Grey being a duelist. We just had a tank, a Vanguard with Emma Frost, so I don't think Jean Grey will be a strategist personally. Could be wrong. Now, telekinesis and telepathy, that opens up a lot of routes for abilities, right? She's probably gonna do some kind of mind damage, kind of similar to Emma Frost, and maybe she can control players or throw objects or you know, there's so many different things you can do with telekinesis and telepathy, whatever route they want to go with, but she is a very, very powerful psychic. So she's definitely going to be able to flourish in terms of dealing damage, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she'll be a strategist, but I think it's quite unlikely. Ultron's going to be a strategist, by the way. That was recently revealed in one of the Marvel Rival dev videos that I talked about earlier. You can see him clearly in the background there in the strategist tab. So if there was any confusion there in the past, it's now no longer confusing for us. Ultron will be a strategist. Our first flying strategist, I suppose. Then we have Elixir. Straight from the Marvel website here, because I didn't know much about Elixir personally. He's an Omega class mutant. He has a flexible metallic golden skin with a dark mercury-like substance flowing all over his body. Through physical contact while concentrating, he can manipulate organic material such as flesh, blood, and bone on a genetic level. This biokinesis allows him to heal wounds, regrow tissues that have been damaged or completely removed, heal physiological disturbances that disrupt normal brain function, repair traumatic brain injury, and heal injuries at a subconscious level. After healing massive injuries, Elixir is prone to losing consciousness. So it seems very clear to me Elixir is probably going to be a strategist, and perhaps he can provide some kind of high-level healing at the risk of dealing damage to himself, maybe? That seems very different to other strategists out there, and the playstyle would be very interesting to see. I'd be very curious to see if they went that route. Now, before we get the new event on April 25th, we got 2 new skins coming to the store for Marvel Rivals. We've got a Loki skin and a Hela skin. Now, whilst we haven't seen the details for the Loki skin in-game, I do have some footage to show of the Hela skin. I want to play it so you can hear all the different sound effects and the MVP screen and all that stuff that comes with it. I'll let that play now.
A brief taste of hell. Hell unleashed! My clothes.
Another thing that I want to point out brings me back to this strategist Ultron picture. You may see a silhouette here of another character. This is leaving a lot of people wondering who it could be. Now, the rumor is, according to Miller, this is just sort of a dummy. It's just like a in-dev sort of placement character they use for testing, and it's not going to relate to any specific hero or anything. Now, when it comes to any in-game or in-development pictures or concept art, it's always work in progress. So if you see anything like that online or any leaks, it's always best to be a little bit careful, because what actually comes out at release and what you see in an early build usually is very, very different. Now, that's all of the news we have today for Marvel Rivals. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheerio!